I feel alright. The party's here.
Welcome back to another episode of Fitstop, your health conscious pit stop. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a healthy protein toffee. Today it's actually bonfire night in the UK, and one of the things we usually have is some bonfire toffee. So you'll usually have that around the bonfire. Very nice, very sweet. I'm going to show you how to make a healthy version of it with just 6 ingredients. We're going to have whey protein, agave nectar, almond butter, raw coconut oil, sea salt, and dates. The only tool you're going to need is a blender, and it's extremely simple. It's going to take 5 or 10 minutes maximum. All we're doing is putting these ingredients into the blender, blending it together, and then rolling it out. It's as simple as that. If you're anything like me, I have a very sweet tooth and I just love to eat sweet things, so if you can make a healthier version of it, then why not? So I'm going to jump into this and I'll show you how it's done. First ingredient, dates. We're going to add these straight into the blender. So if we just zero the scale and then drop these in, we're looking for 150 grams in total. Alright, just a little bit over, that's fine. Next on the list is almond butter. You can substitute this with peanut butter if you prefer, or any other nut butter for that fact. Just make sure that it's quite runny because we're going to need it to move in the mixture, otherwise it's going to get too clumpy in the blender. So what you want to aim for is about 1.5 tablespoons. So I think that's pretty much there actually. Just a little bit more. So you can see from the scale, that's about 40 grams of almond butter. Next ingredient is agave nectar. Again, this can be substituted with honey as well, whichever one you prefer. So approximately 2 tablespoons of this. There we go, that's 1. That's 2. Next, just add a little sprinkling of sea salt, so maybe just a few twists on here. If you have a salted nut butter already, then don't add any salt to this. Next on the list is whey protein. So I've got a French vanilla cream flavour here, but if you've got a different flavour, then that could make some pretty interesting recipes as well. If you've got a mint flavour or Rocky Road, then I'm pretty sure they'd taste awesome as well. There we go, 1. That's 2 scoops. I'm gonna go for 2.5 just because you can never have too much protein. That's protein taken care of. Next on the list is coconut oil. So we're going to take 2 tablespoons of this, and we need it melted, so I'm just going to put some in here and melt it in the microwave, and I'm going to pour it straight into the mixture. Coconut oil straight out the microwave, and you can see it's nicely melted. So we're going to pour that straight on top of the whey protein. There we go. And last but not least is my favourite, cinnamon. So I always go on about the health benefits of cinnamon and how good it tastes as well. I'm gonna add just a little sprinkling of this just to boost the flavour and a little bit more health benefit. And that's it. That's all the ingredients, ready to blend them together, and then we'll roll it out. You can see right now it's like a very gooey mix, and that's going to blend very nicely in the blender. It's going to be a little bit stubborn at first, but persistence pays off, so just keep grinding into it. Add a spot of water if you just need to wet it and keep it moving a little bit, but otherwise just try and keep it as solid as possible. So this is where your training comes in, because it will get stuck to the sides. So you really need to just shake it about, get it nice and loose, and then hit it with the blades again. So I'm just going to take a break for a second from the blender. There's a lot of residue stuck in the bottom, like the whey protein and stuff, so I'm just going to grab a knife, scoop that out, add a little bit of water just because it's sticking, and then I'm going to put it back on. Alright, good to go again. This is really where we start making magic. As soon as it looks like that, then you're getting very close. So that is perfect. You saw at the end, it just all started blending together and just rolling around nicely. That's when you know it's done. So there's a little bit left on the top, but I'm not going to worry about that. So now our mixture's ready. What we're going to do is put it onto some parchment paper or cling film if you don't have that. And we're just going to start molding it into probably about 1/2 inch thick slices and rolling it out, just getting it into shape. And then we're going to put it in the freezer for 2 hours or overnight if you want it a little bit harder. And that's it, that's completely finished. You may have some stuck on the blades, so just salvage what you can because we don't want any of this to go to waste. So good. If this had chocolate chips in it, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this would be better than cookie dough. So step one is just to squidge it down a little bit. You just put a towel down to prevent it from slipping around when you're rolling it. So that's ready to go. We're just gonna roll this. The benefit of using parchment paper is obviously it doesn't stick to it. And that is looking really good right now. So this is what it's looking like right now. You can just play around with it and get it into a nice rectangular shape. So when you're finished, what you want to be left with is something like this. And what you can do is just take something like a pizza cutter and gently roll through it. Don't cut all the way through, just make a nice incision so that when this is frozen, it's going to be nice and easy to pull apart. This bit's for now. So good. And there you have it. Protein Toffee 101. Once you stick this in the freezer for a couple of hours or so, then here's one I made earlier. It should come out something like this. So you have these pretty solid blocks, and especially when they're cold, they are just so good to snack on. Great to know that it's healthier toffee than if you were just to eat one that's made purely out of sugar. These are made mostly with dates, so they're natural sugars. We've got a protein boost in there as well to help us recover from the gym. All in all, a healthy version of toffee. Try it for yourselves at home. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Fitstop. I'll see you next time.
This is how we do it. It's Friday night and life is